Welcome to On The Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Good, Dave.
That's good, mate. Only one more sleep, mate, till Derby Day. The biggest and best racing day of the year. 4 Group 1s, 2 Group 2s and 3 Group 3s on the card. Amazing day. Best day of racing for a punter going around, isn't it?
It is.
And can't wait for it. So anyway, we'll get through. There's 4 Group 1s, so a lot to get through, so we'll go straight into it, mate. The first Group 1 is the $1.5 million VRC Derby. It's for 3-year-olds, it's at set weights, and it's over 2,500 metres, mate. And who do you like in the Derby this year, mate?
Dave, I'm going with the WA galloper. Big spruik on him, Kyorakutu. 4 from 4. The trainer, Adam Durant, has won the last 5 trainers premierships in WA.
Good trainer, yeah.
Very good trainer. This horse has been beating the older horses, a bit like Placid a few years back. He beat the older horses before he came over and ran in the Vars, and then went on to win the Derby. This bloke's very much in the same mould. Adam Durant was interviewed the other morning and asked to compare between him and Mr. Moe, and said he's a furlong better at the same stage. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Very big
Mr. Moe was a Group 1 winner,
so very big spruik. Obviously, with the Derby, it's probably the worst start in Australia of any city track.
Yeah, it is,
that 2,500 metre start. So you really want to draw in if you can, and he's drawn to pole position, so he should be able to get a lovely run, probably off the speed, but he's not going to have the hustle and bustle trying to get around the first turn. So on the bit for mine is Kyorakutu, about $8.
$8, nice price. I thought Get the Picture was just crying out for the 2,500 metres on a big track like Flemington. He's only in his first prep, this horse. His first start was over 1,200 back in August, and he got back near to their last on that race and showed a big finish. He's been doing that in all of his races, getting back to last and showing big finishes. I think the big key here on Saturday, again, I think the barriers are very important at this start. He's drawn barriers 6, and he's got D. Oliver aboard. Mark Zara's been riding it. So I think Ollie will actually posse this horse up no worse than midfield, on the fence somewhere, and then probably try and give him plenty of room from about the 500 to unleash his big finish. He's trained by Stuart Webb, who's the foreman for Robert Smurden, so he knows how to prepare a good horse, especially for a big race. So I think he's the right horse in the right race, and this prep has been targeted towards this big race. He's $12 each way. I thought he was on the bit. The favourite Tarzino's had a good prep coming into this race as well. I just thought the $2.30 was far too skinny, and probably Lizard Island and Jadir I thought would run good race. I thought Jadir would run a cheeky race at the $26 each way. He's got Dwayne Dunn on board, so I thought that was a good jockey change for him too. The second big Group 1 is the $1 Million McKinnon Stakes at weight for age over 2,000 metres. And who do you like in McKinnon, mate?
Even race, Dave, I thought. I'm going with a horse that's been a favourite of yours, but not this prep. He's been off. He's been off. But in saying he's been off, he hasn't been disgraced. He's been beaten in top class, class races, but beaten 3 to 4 lengths. So I watched him gallop at Moonee Valley. I thought he galloped really good. Then the feedback was on TV that O'Shea thought that his track work rider said that he was back to his best. He came down and galloped him and said he felt the same as he was in the autumn. I thought that he's drawn a really nice gate to get a lovely run just behind him. I thought $10 fixed about this horse is a good price. If he's back to where he was, which his gallop sort of said that he might be, then he's right up to winning this race, and good value at the $10. So he's on the bit for mine.
Yeah, good value. Winks was brilliant last week, mate. You saw that gallop. It wasn't going too well in that gallop, mate.
No, she went good. I just got taken away by Kermadec and that ran last.
Well, Winks was brilliant, but not many other horses had that race really run the suit because of the barriers, and they had to sustain some wide runs, and it was really favouring the inside barriers last week. So 2 horses stand out for me in this race. I thought Faulkner, I still think he's a weight for age star. He played no part in the Cox Plate last week. yet he still finished 6th, and he was running on quite strongly at the end. He was beaten a long way. The only negative is he's drawn barrier 15 in this, but I expect Ollie to probably roll forward from the 2,000 metre start at Flemington, and I think you'll probably be able to find a spot in the first 6. He loves Flemington. He's very effective at the 2,000, and I actually thought he was the best weight for age horse in this race. So I thought at the $9 he was great each way value. I thought he was on the bet. I thought his danger is Happy Trails. He too played no part in the Cox Plate last week. He was last on settling from an outside barrier. He made a wide run from the 600, and when everyone else was getting inside runs, he was shunted like 10 wide on the turn. He ended up finishing 10th, but I just think you need to ignore that he went around. Previous to that, he was 2nd in the Caulfield Stakes. Prior to that, he was unlucky in the Turnbull when he didn't get a run. So I reckon the last 3 runs, you can forgive him. He backed up last year from the Cox Plate and he won the McKinnon. So I thought he was $10 each way. He's drawn a nice barrier. I thought he was on the bit as well. So those 2 are the ones I want to work around. The next Group 1 is the $500,000 Coolmore Stakes. This is for 3-year-olds. It's over 1,200 metres. It's down the straight at Flemington, mate. And who do you like in the Coolmore?
No, I'm not really sticking my neck out here. No. I'm going with Exosphere.
Yeah.
Basically, Dave, his 3-year-old form is first rate, Golden Rose winner. That's the best form in the country.
Yeah.
Basically, you just look at the race and it's set weights. He's 20 rating points ahead of the next best horse in the race, and he's got level weights with everything. He first time down the straight, but being an O'Shea horse, he would have been there before.
He jumped out last week.
Yeah, would have trialled down the straight, so he would have said it before. To my eyes, he'd just be too good for him.
It was a soft trial last week. Yeah, Exosphere's been dominating the 3-year-old sprint races during the Sydney Spring. He comes here as a raging hot favourite. Can't really see how any of the Sydney 3-year-olds can beat him. And as you say, with the rating points, what that means, that 20 rating points, is that really he should be giving them 7 to 10 kilos. And he's meeting them on level weight. So really hard to go around him. Even the Melbourne horses, some of them been impressive, but I can't see how they'll get next to Exosphere. But you'll need to have big kahunas to get back in, mate, straight out, because he's $1.40 in the fixed odds markets. But he's probably he's probably on the bit. But it'd be good to see him in Melbourne, because we haven't seen him yet to date. And probably the most wide open Group 1 of the day, mate, is the last one, is the $500,000 Maya Classic for fillies and mares over the 1,600 metres, mate.
Dave, one of my favourite races on the calendar year. I love it. It's the future of the breeding barn.
It is, yeah.
All those mares. Heaps of speed, I thought, Dave. There's 3 litres on paper, which will suit my selection in Jessie Bell. She's been really rattling home her last 3 runs, and she gets to a mile here, which suits her perfectly. She's won 2 from 4 at the trip. She's also won at the track. She's $15 on offer, and I just think with the way the race is going to be run, her liking for the track, I just think she's a mare looking for the distance, and I think she'll be getting home over the top of them. So I think basically a great each way bet anyway. So she's on the bit for mine.
Surprises me, mate, because these mares tend to take it in turn who wins, but I'm going for your mare, Royal Descent. I just thought she gets a gun run from barrier 5. She's likely to get a sit 2 or 3 pairs back with some really good speed in this race up front. She'll just be in the prime position to pounce about 200 metres out. She's got Hugh Bowman on board, who's just riding freaking like a guide at the moment. He'll just time his run perfectly on this mare. I thought she's the only true Group 1 mare in the race, other than probably the filly, the Stay With Me, who's an up-and-coming filly. Which also throws an interesting angle into the race, because she's only got 49 kilos as a filly. But if you can forgive Royal Descent for its last run in the Caulfield Cup, when she was really 3 wide on a hot pace, she was really given no chance to win that Caulfield Cup. She dropped out, and I think she ran near last. But if she didn't run in the Caulfield Cup, she'd be actually starting favourite in this race. You're actually getting $6.
Yeah.
So if she's had 2 weeks to freshen up, so if she's freshened up and taken no harm from the race, last start, I thought the $6 was very juicy, and I would be all over that. That's all the Group 1 stable news. Lenny, what's stable news for this week, mate?
Oh, Dave, just no runners, well, some runners coming up to run. Haven't had any runners in the past week, but we got Magnet running Friday night.
Yep, in Moonee Valley.
Parcels running on Friday night, and
yep.
Malaguera will be running on Tuesday at Flemington.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I'd say they're all pretty good chances.
Yeah, well, Magnet goes around in race 3 tonight at Moonee Valley. Just can't draw a barrier, this filly, though. No. You know, she's drawn barrier 10. There's a lot of pace drawn underneath her, so it'll make it very hard for her to cross. And the rail's out 7 metres, so she'll probably up against it. We'll be all there. The Dream team will be there cheering her on, and a big dress rehearsal for Derby Day at Flemington the next day. But she's sort of 20 to 1 each way, so she's good value, and she is well in herself. But the barrier and the rail out is the only thing working against her. The other thing, just on the news, is we're running a raffle for a share in a racehorse, $50 a ticket. So I'll leave my details at the end of the on the bit today in the credits. It's drawn on Melbourne Cup Day at our event, so if anyone's interested, we've sold, there's only 70 tickets being sold. We've already sold about 30.
The last one's won its first start.
Yeah, it did, yeah. So we've had about 3 of these, and they've done well. So you can choose any one of 4, the Sebring, the Magnus, the Dewporth, or even the Doomsday 3-year-old that's just about to start. So you can find some more information on Facebook or on our website. Okay, mate, so best on breeding. Got a best on breeding for us, mate?
Yeah, Dave, Bassett in the first.
Yep.
He's by Savabeel. He was a Derby winning sire, Sangster.
Yep.
Out of a stakes placed Captain Rio mare that stands in NZ called Fledgling, and basically I thought he was bred to get a mile. He just wins in miles, so I would have knew he made him on the bet.
Yeah, he ran a good race in the Corville Guineas, didn't he? Value bets, I actually don't have anything really prepared, but I thought Get the Picture was great value in the Derby, so he'd be my value for the weekend. On the bit special, Lenny, who are you on the bit with this week, mate?
I'm going with Disposition, probably again, Dave. Right race here.
Yep, 1400.
He was a winner at Flemington over the 14 first up. He's had 2 runs since in Group 1s, 2 seconds. He drops in class, back to Flemington. He's drawn wide, but I think he should be able to get cover. Basically, he's the best horse in the race. I think he's 4th run in this time. Yeah. And I think he'd just be peaking, and he should be just too good for him. At $4.40, I think on any other day, he'd probably be a 6 to 4 chance. So I think it's great money. He's
off a Group 1 placing back to a Group 3. So he's right in. I'm on the bit. I think I've listed this on the bit before. Flemington Race 5, number 3, Excess Knowledge. His last 2 runs, he's just missed a boat. He's missed the timed his runs incorrectly last 2 runs. He got beaten by Black Tomahawk or something 2 starts ago, where he should have won. And last start he was running on really strongly to Amrella, who won the Herbert Power, and Amrella's going to run a good race on Tuesday. But I just think he's knocking on the door, this horse. The important thing is he needs to win to get a run on Melbourne Cup in the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. This is Gabe Waterhouse has given him 3 weeks to get over that run. I think she's targeted this race as an ideal race for him to qualify for the Cup, because if he wins, he goes straight into the Cup. He doesn't have to worry about the penalty. He's got Dwayne Dunn aboard, which is a great jockey to have on board this time. He's drawn barrier 9. He'll sit 3 or 4 pairs back, and I just think he was going to put this race to bed sort of at the 200. I think he just wins. He's $6. I think it's outstanding value. He's on the bit for mine. Off the bit, Lenny. We've got to get these right, mate. Yours won again last week.
Yeah, it did. So you did.
Who are you off the bit with, mate?
Well, you could back this, make it your on the bit special. Race 9, number 5 under the Louvre, Dave.
Yeah. That is sticking your neck out, mate.
Yeah,
it's like a moral.
You know what? I think he's drawn a very sticky gate.
Yep.
He's drawn barrier 2, and that's what really put me off. All the speed's out wide. He's been running at 14. He comes back to 12. He's going to need, well, basically he's going to try and get out to the middle to try and follow the speed and track it in. But as much as he looks well placed, he hasn't been winning either. So until he wins, I'm off. So off the bit.
Off the bit with mine. I just thought Tarzino at $2.30 in the Derby. He's had some good flashing light runs, but I just thought the $2.30 for a horse that's never run at the distance. And I thought there was a few really good chances in that derby, so I'm off the bit with Tarzino. Yeah, I'd leave him out and go around him and find some value with a few of the others we've mentioned, yours and mine. So good luck, happy Derby Day.